Our exodus from Aiur is complete, and the survivors of Aiur's destruction now take their first steps onto the foreign soil that is the planet of Shakuras, the shadowed homeworld of the Dark Templar. Once camp is established, Artanis and Zeratul begin to plan our next moves.
Entaro Tassadar, Executor. The survivors from Aiur have made it safely through the gate. Yet, amidst the chaos of our retreat, we lost contact with Phoenix and Raynor. I fear that they may have been overrun by the Zerg.
Artanis is concerned. The warp gate to Aiur was cut off as the last of the refugees made it through, which has severed our line of communication with the warriors left on the other side. Zeratul reassures our new praetor by reminding him of the strength of his comrades. Phoenix and Raynor have both proven themselves warriors time and time again. They will not falter to some feral Zerg, and could have yet made it through the warp gate.
Fear not, Artanis. Phoenix is as stalwart a warrior as I have ever known, and the Terran Raynor has proven himself to be highly resourceful in the past. I for one believe that they made it here safely.
We must press onward, and Zeratul soon brings our attention back to the matter at hand, setting up a defensible base to bolster our forces while we attempt to contact the Dark Templar living on Shakuras.
But while we wait for word from them, we must reconnoiter the surrounding area and find a suitable location for a more permanent settlement. Once we're situated, we can begin to search for the Dark Templar.
It has been several decades since Zeratul was home, and he has not spoken with his kin in his time away. We begin the mission by sending out a small scouting party, only a few zealots and some probes, to find new resources to stockpile. Shortly after setting out, they are found by a few roaming Zerglings.
Executor, there are Zerg on Shakuras. They must have taken control of the warp gate on Aiur.
This is unfortunate news. Not often does a planet survive once the Zerg have touched its surface. Time is now of the essence, so we waste none warping in a nexus and some pylons to put down our roots. No sooner than our nexus completes its warp are we set upon by an overwhelming force of hydralisks. This would spell the end for our brave scouts, but a handful of Dark Templar arrive just in time to rescue them.
Zeratul, glad I am to see that you've returned home after these many decades. But the strange guests that have followed you here seem ill-tempered.
They admit that they had been watching us from the shadows, monitoring our movements to confirm the purity of our intentions. Once our serpentine attackers are dispatched, the Dark Templar greet their old friend Zeratul, but insist to him that our new friends, the Zerg, carry foul hearts and are not to be trusted.
Well met, my brother. Indeed, these creatures known as the Zerg have no regard for the sanctity of life. Once we have secured this area, I shall tell you everything I know about them in council.
I am sure the Matriarch will be eager to hear your tale as well.
Zeratul promises to explain the situation fully once he meets with the council and reminds them that the Zerg have no regard to any living creature but themselves. Artanis interrupts this lukewarm reunion with fresh news from Raynor and Phoenix. Their forces are still fighting for survival at Aiur's warp gate.
Executor, we have received a transmission from Raynor and Phoenix. They are still alive and are fighting to retake the warp gate on Aiur. We must secure the gate on this side without delay.
Our new objective, then, is to help them secure the area around them and ensure that they may safely travel through the warp gate. For that, they'll need reinforcements, and getting our warriors over to them means destroying the nearby Zerg base. Its location is currently unknown to us, but the presence of Zerglings and hydralisks in the area means it must be nearby. Our Dark Templar rescuers agree to join us, giving us new strength to take on this mission and get back to work on strengthening our defenses. Heading southward reveals that our current location is atop the battlefield's high ground, and only 2 ramps closely positioned together give access to our base. With this new intel, we deploy our Dark Templars at the top of the ramps to stonewall any enemies lacking a detector unit for moving through, in addition to cutting down their vile forces with a righteous fury.
Yes.
Our base now secured, we set up our research structures and begin warping in reinforcements before setting out in search of the Zerg base. Soon we have some Dragoons to support our Zealots, who proceed to move farther south, encountering a few defensive structures along the way, protecting a second resource node. This position is not nearly as defensible as our main base, so we begin expanding its defenses with haste, protecting its perimeter with automated cannons. Soon, air support is warped in, and even a few Archons join our forces as we push farther into the fog of war. Soon, we come upon our goal, the Warp Gate. Sadly, Artanis notes, the gate offers no indication that Phoenix or Raynor were able to make it through, urging us to double down on our efforts to aid them by securing this area.
There's no sign of Phoenix or Raynor. They must still be on Aiur.
Our troops make haste across a nearby bridge and come upon a third resource area. It's of no use to us now, but holding this position may help us out in the future. Stronger and stronger resistance hammers our forces as we at last reach a ramp leading down to the Zerg base. After we scout out the base with an observer, we summon all of our available units to consolidate here and to begin our assault. Our Dragoons and Scouts pick off their outlying forces, to ever so slightly poke the bear before our vanguard crashes into their base. With vengeance in their hearts, and the name of our broken home planet on their lips, the Zerg are no match, and pay for the loss of our homeworld as we rend their bodies into pulp. No sooner than the last of their structures are reduced into piles of blood and bone do we receive a communication from Raynor.
Executor, my crew and I will remain here on Aiur and shut the gate down on this side. It's the only way to make sure that the Zerg won't send more reinforcements to Shakuras.
He stepped through the gate to tell us personally that he and Phoenix will stay on Aiur to stop any more Zerg forces from slipping through the gate to Shakuras.
You will be hopelessly outnumbered. And once the gate is shut down, there will be no one to save you should you be overrun.
Yeah, well, I'm a man of action. What can I say?
I shall remain with Raynor as well, Executor. My duty is to Aiur after all.
Farewell then, brave warriors. We will send through all the troops we can spare.
Artanis reminds them that choosing this path, however noble, will leave them stranded without further reinforcements. Phoenix and Raynor welcome the challenge. Artanis commends them for their valor, offering his blessing and as many reinforcements as we can send before they seal the warp gate shut. Jim gives us one final one-liner before jumping back through the gate to take on the swarm.
Thanks. You kids just remember to play nice from now on, okay? Wish us luck.
Entaro Tassadar, brave warriors.